The Integrated Rural Community Development Society, or IRCDS, is working with marginalized groups of Tiruvallur district in the aim of helping them to escape from poverty. To achieve this goal, the organization creates awareness, mobilizes communities, and links target groups with government institutions. The idea is that marginalized groups should acquire the knowledge and skills to be able to advocate their own cause and to create sustainable livelihood options. Up to today, IRCDS has organized more than 20,000 women and 2,500 persons with disabilities into self-help groups. It is covering an area of 11 blocks in 2 districts and has 42 staff members. How did the organization evolve and what was the initial project? IRCDS was founded by Mr. Titus in 1986. He was a young teacher when he visited one of his pupils in a village in Tiruvallur district. He saw the difficult living conditions in this rural area and wanted to bring change through education. Together with a friend, he founded the National English School, where children of 5 villages came to study. Shortly after they started the school, they encountered challenges they had not anticipated. The families of the villages didn't have enough money to pay the fees or the transport facilities. They closed the school after 4 years in 1990 and shifted their focus. In cooperation with European and Indian funding partners, IRCDS implemented housing, sanitation, human rights and community health projects in the 1990s. A turning point for IRCDS was the social animators training that was first organized in 1993. It consisted in a 20 days training in social work for village youths. They learned how to access government welfare schemes and how to address issues such as community infrastructure. By word of mouth, more and more youths from different villages signed up for the training. Not only were there more active social workers in the villages, the network of IRCDS also grew rapidly. Before the social animators training, IRCDS was active in 9 villages. By 1994, the network had already grown to 26 villages. And by 1997, IRCDS was working in 89 villages. From a small organization with only 2 staff members, IRCDS had grown into an established rural development organization in about 10 years. In 1997, IRCDS was selected by the government of Tamil Nadu to implement a program called Mahalir Thittam, which is Tamil and translates to women development. The idea was to empower women through the formation of self-help groups. IRCDS got to work very closely with the government and was able to start linking government departments to the rural population. IRCDS implemented this program in their project area, consisting of 4 blocks in Tiruvallur district from 1997 to 2012. During the span of the program, the organization got to work with 4 times more villages within these 4 blocks. From 89 villages in 1997 to 368 in 2012. At the beginning of the new millennium, IRCDS started a couple of new projects. The first line of new projects concerns child protection, the second debt bondage, and the third the empowerment of persons with disabilities. With regard to the projects on child protection, the Family Counseling Center was established with the support of the government of Tamil Nadu in 2000. It provides psychological support and legal guidance to affected persons. 1 year later, in 2001, the government children's home was opened. Deserted and neglected children get food, accommodation and counseling in the home and are enrolled in schools. A decade later, in 2011, Lions Club Belgium, Lions Club Perambakam and IRCDS jointly funded the new building for the children's home. Since 2012, IRCDS is also coordinating the activities of the District Child Welfare Committee and is managing the reception unit at district level for children who have been rescued from abuse or neglect. Parallel to the projects regarding child protection, IRCDS was chosen by the International Labour Organization to be one of the implementing partners of the project Prevention and Elimination of Bonded Labour in South Asia in Tiruvallur district in 2001. Bonded labourers are working in brick kilns, rice mills and in agriculture in this area. They are bound to their jobs through debts and have to work in very difficult conditions until these debts are paid off. Through self-help groups and common savings, and through creating awareness on issues such as discrimination, the bonded laborers were strengthened and could be freed. Multiple livelihood options were created for former bonded laborers and for families who were at risk of getting into bondage. Since IRCDS had experience in working with bonded laborers, in 2012 the India Literacy Project came forward to support an educational project for the children of bonded brick kiln laborers. Today, the project covers 4 blocks in Tiruvallur district and 3 blocks in Kanchipuram district. Many of the children were previously child laborers and are now enrolled in schools. The program also enables youths who dropped out of school early to continue their studies. Simultaneously to the child protection and bonded labor projects, IRCDS also got the opportunity to get involved in the empowerment of persons with disabilities. In 2002, with the support of Caritas India CBR Foundation, IRCDS helped forming self-help groups for 290 persons with disabilities in 34 villages. Through the groups, persons with disabilities were able to access government schemes and loans that allowed them to start their own businesses. In 2005, Caritas Germany funded the expansion of the program to the neighboring block, thereby covering nearly 1,500 persons with disabilities. 7 years later, in 2012, IRCDS was working with more than 2,500 persons with disabilities across the whole district. As an outcome of the program, Vasantam Federation for the Differently Abled was founded in 2005. It is a federation of and for persons with disabilities that counts more than 10,000 members today. The program was so successful that the Caritas India CBR Foundation selected Tiruvallur district to be one of the model districts for working with persons with disabilities in India. In 2013, the fellowship program started as an addition to the existing disability program, thanks to the funding support of Caritas Germany. The fellows, all persons with disabilities themselves, are catalysts for the development of persons with disabilities. In between these 3 continuous lines of programs, IRCDS was also active in emergency relief projects after the 2 natural disasters that affected Tamil Nadu after the millennium. In 2005, a tsunami hit the coastal areas, and in 2015, a heavy monsoon caused devastating floods in the northern districts. IRCDS coordinated immediate relief operations after both disasters. Essentials such as food, blankets, and clothes were distributed to the most affected families. As becomes visible from these descriptions, IRCDS grew substantially from 2000 to today. Along with the projects, the infrastructure of the organization changed. In 2005, the organization moved into their own building with more office space. Also, so as to be able to reach the most remote villages, a jeep was bought in 2006. The most recent developments are promising. In 2014, IRCDS became a business and development correspondent for the government banking institution NAPFINS and can now more easily facilitate the access to loans for self-help groups. 2 German volunteers came for 11 months to support us in project planning and documentation for the first time in 2015. In the same year, we received funding from the German Consulate General in Chennai to renovate the courtyard of our office building and children's home. Lastly, we are proud to say that we have received the Best NGO Award by the Madras School of Social Work in 2015. The award valued the fact that we have implemented interventions with unique approaches and came up with workable, replicable, and sustainable models for the empowerment of marginalized women, persons with disabilities, and children.